is Dan Grummett again with Dan's Beginning Harmonica Lessons. And I'm going to call this 3A because we're going to actually divide this into two separate videos. And one of the reasons I'm doing that is because I've already done lesson 4. or it's still a little bit editing, but there's going to be some guests in that one. A couple other musicians are going to be joining me in lesson 4. So we're going to divide this one into two parts in lesson 3. So what we're going to start with is some more tabs. And the first tabs we're going to do is called Goodnight Ladies, and it goes right into a song called Merrily, We Roll Along. And these two songs are meant to be played together. And you may or may not have heard Goodnight Ladies before. It's from the musical The Music Man. And so the way this is usually played is Goodnight Ladies, followed by the Merrily We Roll Along, which is basically the same song as Mary Had a Little Lamb. So it should be recognizable to you, that part. So it just kind of goes right into it. So I'm going to put the tabs up there. I'm going to play it kind of slow for you, but let me show you how it sounds by singing it first. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Merrily we roll along, roll along, roll along. Merrily we roll along o'er the deep blue sea. Okay, so, or dark blue sea, maybe. Anyway, that's the lyrics. So now let's try the melody. We'll start it off kind of slow. It's going to be starting on your 5 below. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you need to practice that a little bit, you're going to get the melody, go ahead and go back. I keep wanting to say rewind. That's how old I am. But go back to this what we just did and practice a little bit, or just look at the tabs and play. Get where you can play a little faster. We'll go ahead and pick up the speed a little bit and do it again, starting again on that 5 below. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try one more time, and hopefully I won't mess up this time myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about the speed where you want to get to. Take your time getting to that speed. And what's kind of important is I try to memorize these tunes so you don't have to rely as much on the tabs. Just kind of practice enough where you can just play it. There's a smoothness to these kind of songs that you pick them up pretty quick generally, and you really don't need the tabs anymore. So that's Goodnight Ladies. The next tabs we're going to do is going to be When the Saints Go Marching In. And oh, that's not it. There we go. Okay, When the Saints Go Marching In. And I'm going to take a little drink real quick before I sing this. allergy season get kind of dried out. So when the Saints Go Marching In is if you've probably heard it before, but just in case you haven't, it's like this. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, how I love to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. I'll try to do it better this time. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, how I'd love to be in that number when the saints go marching in. Okay, that's it. Pretty easy. So now you can get away from my singing and we can go to actual playing this on the harmonica. This is going to be on your 4-blow. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's it slow. That will speed it up a little bit. So find your 4-blow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so try to get that, kind of that speed. We'll do it again. Alright. So, I mean, with these tabs you've learned, and I know there hasn't been that many, but all the skills you really need to start really going out and do some music, even jamming with some people, you can kind of do that right now, even with what you know. But we're going to talk about some important little things we do in dynamics. What I mean by dynamics, when you hear that word, and I use it quite a bit, is to make the song more interesting. What do we do so that it doesn't get boring, it doesn't get monotonous? You know, how can we make a song more interesting? And also, how do we do our transitions in the song to make it transition smoothly from like the chorus to the verse, and the verse to the bridge, and whatever, right? So we're going to be working again with that old 12-bar blues. We're going to try some turnarounds. So I want you to listen to this, and let me explain what it is first, I guess. So an intro is just something that brings you into the song. And sometimes it's done, and it's usually done before the actual song begins. It could be something as simple as a downbeat on a drum. The drummer could just hit the drums, pop, and then it goes into the song. Da 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 da, da 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 da. Or he might hit the drums maybe twice. Boom, boom, da 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 da. So that would be like a very simple 2 downbeat intro. Some intros are a little more intricate than that. They might actually start on, you might actually have the intro written in your bars, or your music. So to begin with, we're going to do these, we're going to think about that. So that's your intro. And then a turnaround is like if we take the 12-bar blues, for instance. Once you get through that 12 bars, we're going to keep repeating it, right? At least once, probably many times in a song. So as you get to the end of that first 12 bars, you get to the end, especially that last measure or bar, a lot of times the musicians will do a turnaround to bring it kind of back up to the beginning again in an interesting way. That could be as simple as changing the chord from the C chord to a G chord, like when we were doing our 12-bar blues before, if you remember, when we did the one in the key of C, we ended up, those last 2 bars were in the key of C, and that's fine if you're going to end it there, but if you're going to repeat it, which you normally are, then we can change that last bar to a G chord and go C, one bar C, 1 bar G, and that makes it a little bit less monotonous when you go back to the C again at the beginning, because if you play the C the whole time, that's just a lot of C chords, So that's one way. But usually they'll do something interesting there at the end of that first 12 bar. The same thing happens between maybe a verse and a chorus, or a chorus or a verse and a bridge in a song, and there's something that kind of leads you into it. That can be done through a step up, like if we were doing When the Saints. We're going to do this on Goodnight Ladies, but instead of just starting right off, it goes. There's a walk up. Gonna walk up to it. Or Goodnight Ladies, we're gonna do this. 3 blow, 4 blow, 4 draw. All right. That didn't sound right somehow. All right, that walk up. So just going right to the Goodnight Ladies. We'll work on that a little bit more, but I want you to listen to this song again that I was jamming with in the beginning. But just listen to the music this time and see how they do the turnaround. They're gonna do kind of lengthy intro before they start singing, okay? And then they're gonna sing that first 12 bars, and you're gonna hear that turnaround right before they start over again with the next singer doing the second verse. So listen closely to the chord changes and how they are. You're going to hear that. You're going to hear that one chord for 4 measures, right? For full 16 counts. And it's going to go to 2 measures of the G, 2 measures back to the C again, and then it's going to go 1 measure D, 1 measure G. It's going to end with those last 2 measures. But instead of just staying on that C, you're going to see he's going to do like a bar of the C. And then they're going to do this little lick, that's going to bring them back into the beginning again. So listen closely to what they're doing here. Here's your intro. Here we go with the first. Right there.
The CC rider. Mama say what you have done.
Next chord progression. Next chord progression.
Mama, what you have done.
The G, D, and the G. Your C. Now listen to the turnaround right here. Hear that? We're starting right over right here. Back to that C. Listen for the turnaround. Ready? Right here. Okay, so you get the idea. Says how it's more interesting to do something there to lead you back to the beginning again, back to the next verse. So that's what a turnaround is. It's simple. And sometimes it's very simple. Sometimes it might get a little more complex. And certain jazz songs and stuff, they might get more complex. But that's the idea. And then your endings is the same kind of thing. You always want to have some, usually you'll have some kind of an ending. Sometimes songs don't. There's a few songs that just end on that last note, and that's it. So that's often referred to as a cold ending. So sometimes you have those, but most of the time you're going to have some kind of intro. You might have some kind of turnaround. It might, instead of being in the 12 bar, it might be between the verse and the chorus, or right before the bridge, or whatever. I mean, the bridge itself kind of works as a turnaround as well. So we're going to try some turnarounds, and we're gonna use it on Goodnight Ladies. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to play Goodnight Ladies. So there's going to be an intro. There's going to be a little keyboard intro again, just using the rhythm on my keyboard. And there's going to be, and we're just going to play during the intro. What we're going to do is just go back and forth between our C chord, which is your blow and your first three holes, remember, and our G chord. That's it. And then right before the song starts, we're going to go in with a 3 blow, 4 blow, 4 draw. And it's kind of fast. Right? So it's kind of like that. And you'll hear how it sounds. It probably sounds funny when I'm just doing it without any music or anything, but listen for that with the music. Then we're going to do Goodnight Ladies. We're going to do another one of those little rounds again. So it'll be a turnaround before the Merrily. And then another turnaround after the Merrily. And we're just going to do the Goodnight Ladies twice. Okay, so we're going to do the whole thing, and then we're going to go back, and we're just going to do the Goodnight Ladies. We're not going to do the Merrily We Roll Along again. And so at the end of the second time we do Goodnight Ladies, which actually in the song would be Farewell Ladies, when we do that when we go back to that Goodnight Ladies the second time, and it ends, there's going to be an ending. Okay, and we're going to go back to our chords of blow and draw, the C and G. And then we could end it with a quick little pop of a, what did I suggest on that one? I had a thought for that one on here. I think it's on here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so, and then we could end right as the intro ends. You could do a quick little 3 blow, 4 blow. A quick little dun dun right at the end of the song. So we're going to try it out and kind of just follow along until you kind of catch on to what's going on. What we call this 3 blow, 4 blow, 4 draw is a walk up, because we're walking the notes up to the note we want to start the song. So instead of starting on the 5, which is actually the E note that we're starting on for the song itself, we're going to start from the G, and then we're going to the C, and then D, which brings us right to the E, which is going to be the 5 blow. So it's G, the 3 blow is a G, and the 4 blow is your C, and the 4 draw is your D. And then you go right to the E for the Goodnight Ladies. So that's all we're doing. We're walking up the notes. Okay, so let's give it a shot here. Let me find the instrumental for it. It's a little fast, so I recommend you kind of get used to playing the song Goodnight Ladies, so you're pretty comfortable with it before you try doing this one, because this is going to be a little faster. Ready for the walk up. 3 blow, 4 blow. Let's try it one more time. Hope you're going to understand what I'm doing there with that 3. It might sound a little sloppy. Okay, it's probably be sloppy when I do it right now. That's fine. It's a kind of fast-moving song. You're just kind of leading up to that song. And it takes practice to kind of get that, to get a little smoother on it. Right. So just gotta work around it. Don't worry if it sounds sloppy, because mine's kind of sounding a little sloppy today too. It's on one of those days. So let's do it, and let's do it one more time. Remember, just blow your chords. C G C G in the intros and the exit. And if you want to say exit, your intro and your ending. Okay, have that. That's all you're really doing. And then on the intro, you just have to remember to kind of get into that. All right, for that little walk up. Same thing with Merrily, we roll along. All right, and then and then before we go back into Goodnight, Ladies again. And then at the end, after we do our chord stuff, at the very end, we're just going to hit the little 3 blow, 4 blow real quick. And that's it. Let's try it again. Here we go. Chords. There we go. So there's your turnarounds, there's your endings, there's your beginnings. There's lots of different ways of doing them. So on our next lesson, we're going to talk about timing, and I will actually be doing a portion of the lesson on my drums. So I'm going to be on my electronic drum set, demonstrating to you timings and counting and that kind of thing. And then we're going to learn a very important syncopations. So tongue-tied today. Now, syncopation and what that means, and we'll talk about that on the next lesson, and try some syncopated rhythms out together as well. So look forward to seeing you then, and let's go out with a let's go with I'll just do the Goodnight, Ladies again. Go out. There we go. Let's with the Goodnight, Ladies as we go out, and here we go.